MalcolmMusic.
It's such an honor. I'm so excited. I would make this a huge introduction, how, you were the youngest person to be nominated for VMA, all your platinum albums, but we are short on time and I have so many questions, so I want to jump right into it. So, how are you, JoJo?
I'm great. I'm so excited about the show tonight in Hamburg, and it's been a really fun, quick trip in Europe so far, so I'm having a great time.
You have a special connection to Germany?
Germany was the first country, I think, that I ever came to and performed. I opened up for Usher on his Confessions tour, and I have super fond memories of playing in Germany. It was like just the most exciting time ever. It was my first.
Your name is not German, it's French.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I've never seen you really address it. How close is the French roots? Is it like your mother that's, or your father that's French, or your grandfather and you have no connection? Like, do you speak French? What is it with your French name?
That is a question I've never been asked. And on my dad's side of the family, my grandparents both spoke French. I think they were of French-Canadian descent. So they would have it as their secret language that they would speak, and they didn't pass it on to my dad and his sisters because they wanted it to be their thing that they could talk shit behind their back.
I see.
So I never learned, and neither did my dad.
Do you have any ambition of trying to rediscover your French roots or learn French, or?
I do. I have a strong ambition. No, that hasn't sailed. There's lots of things I want to learn, and one of them is French. So that's my top language priority, because it's just embarrassing when I come over to Europe and the only language I speak is English. You know what I mean? It's
and music.
And music, which is the universal language.
Yes. Another top priority of yours is definitely your album. Now, I've recently seen you do an interview with Billboard at the Power 100 red carpet, and I thought, because I'm a big fan, I know all of your interviews, and this reminded me of when you were with Blackground. You were like, oh, it gotta come out this year. There was this. So what is it? What is the situation? Like you said, there's another first single coming up. So are these Triangle songs not going to make the album? Give us the status quo on the album.
Here's the deal. I'm signed to another major label. You know what I'm saying? I am not an independent artist. At the end of the day, I can't just go rogue and be like, here's my deadline, here's my plan, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to make a big impact. I want to be a team player.
Yeah.
I never want to get into a situation where it's me versus the label. And this is still a new relationship, so I want to leave the Tringle as it was and really focus on this album and have it be a cohesive body of work. So when I came into this new year, and it had been maybe 3-4 months since releasing the Tringle, I was like, okay, I really want this album to be full of my identity. And there's a lot of different places that artists are coming from. There's a lot of room, I think, to be yourself. So that's what I need to do here. And so I got back into the studio and really honed in and pushed myself to not just accept insert female artist type records.
So before you felt like you had to sort of compromise, and then you didn't like the record that you've done before, and now you are like...
No, I've loved the records that I've made, and every incarnation of this album, there's been many, but everyone has been something I'm proud of in the moment. But no, it's not that I didn't like it, it's just that time continues to go on.
Yeah.
And music continues to come out, and I need to stay true to what's going on and what's going on with me. But like I said, this is not just me. There's a lot of things to consider. It's not just me thinking of myself and thinking of, what makes me feel the coolest. It's not just
also
that.
The fans, and many of the fans loved your work with Noah Fodi Shabib. So have you actually done the album like you wanted? Is there some JoJo Noah Fodi Shabib album somewhere in somebody's desk, or were you allowed to bring these songs to Atlantic? What is this whole situation with your collaboration with him? Because people love Demonstrate and this whole project.
So, 40 and Drake were going to do, this is common knowledge, you can check it out, they were going to do a whole Aaliyah album. Mm-hmm. And Aaliyah's catalog was with Blackground, and
true.
So there was this whole exciting thing going on with Blackground and the Toronto movement, blah, blah, blah. And I did a couple records with Noah in our schedule. We had like 2 days and we did 2 records, and it was amazing. I have so much respect and admiration for him. But as far as like a whole album, I would love to do that. That's not what we did.
Okay.
And and no one will ever really know what happened with that background Toronto relationship.
Oh man,
you know,
where's the video?
The video.
You had this teaser. You were all sexy. You was giving cleavage on wrap up, and then we never saw the video.
I think certain powers that be weren't happy with the way I looked in it.
So are you gonna like let some engineer leak it, or is it never gonna be?
I don't believe in leaks. Like, I don't do leaks. I don't know how leaks happen. Actually, I know how leaks happen, and they're not for me. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's cool to give people's work away for free unless I have their permission. So all the people that worked on that video, I just don't think it's right. I just don't. I don't feel good about, you know, releasing things for free without getting everybody's like consent. You know.
No, I feel you. I understand. You worked on a song with Tank. On the More Than a Game soundtrack. I really,
oh, yeah.
You remember that song? I really,
yeah, what was that? Do you remember?
If you dream, you can do anything.
Damn, yeah. Harvey Mason Jr.
Yeah, so how was working with Faith Evans, Tyrese? Were you guys actually in the studio, or how did this whole project come about? I love the song.
The project came about through Harvey Mason Jr., who was, I think, doing that soundtrack and wanted a big, like, collaborative song. So he got all of us together. I was working with Tank at the time, and I don't think I was in the studio. No, I wasn't in the studio with Faith, but I've met her, and she's a massive inspiration of mine, and just an amazing vocalist. So I mean, and Tank can sing his face off. Tyrese too. I mean, it was chock full of really dope singers.
Other singers who are really incredibly talented include Tara Kelly, and you're like a big friend of hers. People have been speculating, is there going to be a collaboration? Are you going to sing with her anytime soon? Have you already done something? What's the situation?
We haven't already done something, but we've texted about it, and we ran into each other most recently during the Grammys. We talked about it once again, and we were sitting next to each other at the Clive Davis pre-Grammy dinner thing, and I think that would be amazing. We've always respected each other, gone to each other's shows, and it's just a celebration that we see each other, and it's all love.
It's crazy because you're so young, but yet you're still a veteran already in the game. And what they do, because Tara Kelly and Ariana Grande, all these people came up so much later than you, but they're still in your age bracket. And what a lot of the fans do is they always try and compare and do vocal battles and Demi Lovato and all of that. Where do you see yourself? Because you're very R&B. I feel like you're more R&B than them. You're not really pop like it. So where do you see yourself in a world full of these new pop divas who essentially are the same age but a different generation? Where do you see yourself in that world?
I really don't think of myself as far as genre, and I just don't think that my generation really does. Our generation, I don't think that we're like, I'm a hip hop artist or I'm a pop artist. I like to use the word pop because it means popular, and it means it can just cover such a wide spectrum of things, and so much influences pop. And as far as like the vocal comparisons and the
well, I think you're my favorite. You're the illest.
I appreciate that.
Sorry.
Oh, you don't need to say that, but
you don't have to say
that.
But
I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't care. I don't care. I maybe should care more. I just gotta do me. I gotta be myself. I think there's room. I think back to like the 70s, the 60s, where there was so much diversity, so many different types of singers, and even singers that you would compare to one another, but there was, like I keep saying, there was room. So, the internet is there's this huge ocean now that we can fish from,
But is it not okay to be sort of just in a professional way competitive like the rappers are? Like your favorite rapper, Kendrick Lamar, he will call out other rappers and be like, I'm the best. So it's like would that not be fair game to just say, well, I think I'm the best vocalist?
It is fair game, and I appreciate your questions, but that's not my style. Okay. It's just not my style. And honestly, it's not even about like, well, I'm a woman, so I need to keep it classy. Again, I don't give a fuck. It's just not my style, and I don't think I'm the best. I could name you singers who I look up to, and I think there's a lot of really great female singers right now. That's just not the way I live my life. I want to continue to improve myself and be as honest and transparent as I can be.
Speaking of incredible vocals, Beyonce made big headlines with her Super Bowl performance, and then you're a big fan of the album How to Pimp a Butterfly. So all these, I think her performance ties in also with the album, with the whole message of Black issues and Black Lives Matter. did you take offense in the whole messaging that Beyonce had, and where do you see yourself in this whole discussion and debate that's going on?
God, no, I didn't take offense. I don't think it's, I'm not afraid of people having a point of view and talking about history and talking about where we are now and where we've been and where we need to go. And I think they were saying that her outfit made people feel like it was, paying homage to the Black Panthers. That outfit is exactly what Michael Jackson has worn so many times. So was he paying homage? Are we mad at him? Nobody's mad at Michael for that, you know what I mean? I think when you're a woman and you make statements like that, unfortunately, you do get more flack for it. And where I feel like I fit in it is I'm a millennial. We live in a time where people talk about how we're in a post-racial society, but we're not yet, you know what I mean? So I think it's cool, like me and my friends sit and have sometimes uncomfortable conversations about sex and race and gender and the fluidity of different things and politics, and I think it's good. I think that Beyonce having that platform, it shook things up. We're talking about it, and I applaud her because she's the biggest star in the world and she chose to make a statement about something that's important to her.
In relation to that also, the Tank and Tyrese, who you've collaborated with, have had big rants because they felt as though, I don't think, which never applied to you, I think Black people especially really embrace you a lot, so there's never been that issue, but they say when a white artist does the same music, they receive more recognition. Could you see the frustration that a Tank or a Tyrese has when they almost want to quit music because their song doesn't get played on the Ryan Seacrest station?
I can absolutely see their frustration, and I feel almost, I was born white. That's just how I was born, and they were born, African American, and there's nothing that they can do about that. So
your skin tone might have affected your career. I think you could argue it was an advantage, but maybe it was also a disadvantage because you are in R&B music, and maybe some things, has that been a thought that crossed your mind, and whether that affected your career in any shape, form, or fashion?
I think it has affected my career. I think in a positive way. I think that because I sing soul in soul music, or however you want to call it, urban music. I don't really care what you call it, but I think that because of the color of my skin, I think that it's cut me through in a way, and I would never say otherwise.
Okay. Switching gears a little bit, I love your Love Joe EP. But I was a little confused. You have lots of house and dance music, but I love your R&B stuff. Like, I think you have this niche which is very emo, very nerdy, like almost depressive, like Just a Dream, like that. To me, it's like a song about procrastinating and not doing the things you're wanting to do and thinking you're already there, but then you realize you're not. So, is the album gonna be dance, carefree, back to life, or are you gonna give us this sort of emotional JoJo that we need, which I love so much, and like All I Want Is Everything, the conflict of, I want to be the best thing in the world, but I also want to just sit at home and eat chips. So, like, what are we going to expect on this record?
I want to give you what you want, you know what
Yes.
I mean? I want to give everybody what they want, and I want to be true to myself. And I think that I got to get some of that dance fever that I had in me out with the Love Joe EP, the second one, and with When Love Hurts. And you'll see I do a new song in my set, Good Thing, tonight. But honestly, I started to really dip into that dance pool when I found that there were a lot of girls in my age group that were doing what I've always done, which is, more R&B tinged stuff, more hip hop beats. That's kind of just what comes naturally to me. So I was like, okay, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to catch up, so let me just do something else that I love. House music has really made me feel fabulous and made me feel empowered, and so I wanted to infuse little moments of that. But like I said, when I came back in 2016, in the new year, I spent a week by myself. I rented an Airbnb, and I just stayed by the beach, and I wrote, and I listened to music, and I didn't speak, and I went to the water, and I talked to God, and I was like, and that sounds so dramatic, and it is. Like, I recommend it to everybody, but I got clarity to realize that I love
We're gonna get our introverted, emotional. That's what
you're gonna get all of me.
Okay, that because I need that JoJo in my life. We already established you love Beyonce. I think Fall was one of your favorite albums. Then you had the Mary interpolation in your Love Joe EP, and I also know that you're a big fan of Brandy's. I remember in 2009 you said you didn't really study her growing up, but you kind of changed that. Like a few years later, you said you can't deny her influence.
You can't deny.
So has something happened between that time frame where you just got into Brandy and all of a sudden you're like, damn, like I see why they call her the vocal Bible. Like now I understand. Was there?
Well, no, I mean both those things that I said. I didn't grow up like studying her. There are people who I shed. There are people who, Aretha Franklin, Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. Those people I shed, I studied. You know what I mean? And then Brandy I got into a little bit later, and I still I love Full Moon. I think her new single is dope, Begging and Complete, and she's singing her fucking face off. It's incredible. So I simultaneously mean that she is a vocal Bible to a lot of people, and myself included. I mean, she has so much range and so much depth, and there's so much ill stuff going on in her brain and in her throat, and it's in her heart.
So if you had Mary J. Blige, Beyonce, and Brandy, arguably all of them could be the B and R&B.
Woo!
Blige, Brandy, Beyonce.
That's a good one.
And we have executives with a record contract and a lighter underneath, and they singing like they really just singing. No studio effects, no weaves, no emotional performance, just singing. And you're an exceptional singer, so you can definitely judge that. Who gonna keep their record deal, and whose record deals is just gonna vanish in flames?
Woo! Okay. I think that when it comes to sheer vocals and standing up every time and just being like I'm gonna give it to Brandy.
I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Brandy. But all three singers are unique. Mary J. Blige can make you cry.
No, absolutely.
And Brandy can too. And Beyonce will cry on stage and make you cry too. You're like, damn it, B, what did you just do to me? And I'm not just trying to, I am trying to be level, but it's the truth too. Like, that's a hard one.
No, I really appreciate the honesty, because you could have just been like, oh, let me know all three of them. But
well, they are. They're all amazing.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Legends, all of them.
One thing that I've wondered is, because you were on Black Rock Record, and I'm sure many people send you songs, and you've gotten probably many big, massive songs. Has it happened that because you were there, you couldn't release them, and then next thing you know, Keisha Cole or Rihanna or somebody else singing your song on the radio?
I was just thinking about that the other day, because you hear stories about like, oh, this was supposed to be a so-and-so record, and then it went to #1 on someone else. That's never happened to me, so I must have pretty decent instincts, because no song that I've ever passed on is blown up, so...
Or did you have a song that was supposed to be for somebody else, maybe?
Yeah, I've cut songs that were supposed to be someone else's. There was a song that just got leaked. I have no idea. I think it's been taken down, but it's called Nobody Can Change Me. Mm-hmm. That I recorded during like the Interscope phase when Ron Fair was kind of scared.
Nicole Scherzinger did that.
Exactly. Nicole did it, some other artist did it, and then I cut it.
Something that is very interesting, which many of the fans wanted to know, is... I don't know, I've never read this anywhere, but apparently you've been offered Hannah Montana at one point in your career. So if that is the case, have you been like, oh, thank God I dodged the bullet because now I'm like a serious artist, or have you been thinking, oh, I should have really taken that job?
I think Miley Cyrus is a serious artist too. I think that her trajectory has been actually pretty outstanding, like the way that she went from bona fide, huge child star, like the biggest in the world, to like, to like now we see her naked, and like she's empowered and she's totally her own thing and grown into her new persona. So, and again, I just honestly, that's not the way I live my life. I'm not like, oh, so regretful of what I didn't do at 14. I just can't do that.
Okay.
That sucks. So no, that's not how I feel. Would my bank account be a lot sweeter? Hell yeah. But honestly, I have a dope apartment. I have a real cool car with great speakers. And I'm able to travel the world and do what I love, so I think I'm pretty alright,
I want to do another fun, quick game. So you're on Atlantic Records, right? You have many great label mates. So if you're going to do like a new Ladies Night or a Lady Marmalade, The Boys Night, some type of female empowerment record, and you have, I think, Janelle Monáe is on your label,
yes,
Licky Lee, Charlie XCX, and K. Michelle. Mm-hmm. So you can pick 3 of these to make the perfect, new Lady
You're
Marmalade.
You're a motherfucker. You want me to just keep one person? I'm not doing that. I just like hurt you. I'm not doing
You
that.
said you're honest and transparent. You know, that's your new shtick. So
That's my always shtick.
So you gotta stick to it.
Yeah, I like all those people though. You know who I just think it's kind of like one of those things is not like the other. And honestly, I'm not that familiar with Licky Lee's work.
Okay.
Licky Lee. She's from Sweden?
Yeah, I follow she's Swedish. Yeah, she's Swedish.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you pick K. Michelle, Janelle, and Charlie.
I think that'd be interesting. I'd like to add Kaylani.
Kaylani, is she on Atlantic? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even. So what is next on Horizon? Is like give us something. Give us really something that people don't know, like a title of one of the songs, or when the single is gonna come out, or something that a collaboration that we don't know about. Like let us know because we've been waiting for a decade now.
I know. It's completely ridiculous. It's not like I've said before. It's not like I'm Dr. Dre or D'Angelo. I'm not like doing this to for any other reason other than the timing has to be right when it comes out. The label has to be fully on board. Everything has to be signed, sealed, delivered, ready to go. And okay, so I'll give you one of my favorite songs that I wrote recently. It's called Mad Love. I can't wait for you to hear it. It's it feels like a classic record. It's about some emo shit, and I know you'll love it. I listen to it every day, and I'll tell you some people I've been working with. I've been in with Rock Mafia lately, writing with Justin Tranter and Haley Warner, and this producer from Finland, Jussi. And I'm going back in with one of my favorite writing partners, Nasri. And
you said you wanted to cover some 90s R&B songs. I seen you sing like Three Little Women. I'm getting tired of you.
Oh yeah.
So I thought about 90s producers, R. Kelly, Babyface, and Rocky. So if you got the chance to get one last interview session with one of those three, who would you pick, and why would you go overboard? Or how would you distribute them? Maybe if you could use all three.
I would love to get in. Well, I worked with Rodney a lot. It was amazing, and R. Kelly is one of my favorite artists. I love his new album.
I adore her.
Yeah, the Buffet. I mean, like, I love that album. Choose Babyface though because he just did this collaboration with Ty Dolla $ign, and I'd like to work with the both of them. So if we could do something together, that would be amazing.
Okay, so I think we have to wrap it up. So final words, anything that everybody needs to know, where can they check you out, where can they follow you, what is next to expect from you?
The album is next. I mean, damn. I'm so thankful for everybody who's stuck around, for people who are new to the team, and it just really does feel like that like a family, a team, and I guess maybe people see something of themselves in my journey. And I think that that's awesome. I think that music really is the great equalizer, and the fact that we can touch and agree on shared experiences is everything. So this album is finally everything that I want it to be, and I just know you're gonna love it. And if you don't, then I want to hear about it.
Thank you so much. This has been a dream come true. Like I would have gone into how much I love all your music, but I can't, but
Damn.
I love you. Like even How to Touch a Girl, that was like my virgin anthem.
Oh!
It was like to tell you because I know you watch this because everybody watches their own interviews. So don't even act like you didn't watch it. I have to tell you. I wrote a song for you once because I like to be on the pendulum. I like to sing. It's called Guarantee for Love. So please, JoJo, this is not your team, not nobody. This is for you, JoJo. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, so I could DM you and we can get things popping. You get to hear my vision for you. Other than that, I loved you. Thank you so much for watching. I have some other interviews with Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. Brandy, Miguel, Nivea, Nicole Ray, Tamar Braxton, Macy Gray, Mario Wine, and Selena Johnson, Nika. So many other artists that I've been able to interview. So please check these out if you haven't. Please subscribe to my channel, comment. I have a question for you, and that would be, what is your favorite JoJo song? So let me know what is your favorite JoJo song. I think my favorite JoJo song is I really like the Boy Without a Heart song. It's a very emotional song. Um, Other than that, it was great. I love JoJo, and thank you so much. And subscribe to my channel. And there's new. Stay tuned for new interviews. I have some. I have one with Bilal and with Jeremiah and some others that are coming up. But I definitely recorded the one Bilal, so that should come up soon. Thank you very much, and subscribe. And mwah, Malcolm Music. And question. Don't forget to answer the question. What is your favorite JoJo song? Thank you.